to two economies. It was India and China. The comparison was only that which is more transparent and where more investment can come in. But one really felt a sense of pride that everyone said that India is an economy to be looked at. India is an economy where we can really feel proud that we belong to this particular place. Today, people who have gone abroad are talking of one fact, and that is that probably there is a possibility of brain drain reversal. People who had gone out looking for the jobs, looking for the remuneration, looking for the dollars, are very convinced that probably they can come back to India and can have far better environment and can probably live amongst their own relatives. I think it is a matter of great satisfaction. Sir, I will like to say that what one has felt while traveling abroad, that in the entire financial turmoil, one country which has stood out the test of time, it has been India. We had a slowdown, but we never had a financial turmoil. And one fact which has been recognized by everybody, since my banker friends are here, particularly Mr. Narendra, whom I know for a very, very long time, from chairman of the Indian Overseas Bank right now, everybody acknowledges that the Indian public sector banks have outperformed any other bank in the world. And I think it's a matter of great pride. When all the banks in UK, USA, Germany were really falling apart, the Indian banking system stood out. Here, the entire credit can go to Reserve Bank of India, but at the same time, the credit goes to the government. And part of the credit I will definitely like to take as the auditors of these public sector banks who really made sure that nothing went wrong so far as these banks were concerned, sir. And in this regard, sir, only fact that I will like to say that please ensure the independence of the auditors in the appointments of the auditors. I think there has been a system which has been working very, very well till last 2 years with regard to the appointment of the auditor by Reserve Bank of India. I think we need to really retain that particular system, or probably the Reserve Bank can send the names to the banks with 1:1, and that will also make sure that the younger and the older firms ratio can be maintained in the manner in which the Reserve Bank of India really wants it to be maintained. I would also like to emphasize, sir, that we are a profession which is very proactive. We on our own, looking at the various concerns that the society has expressed in the recent times on corruption, we are initiating certain measures with regard to the role of the accountants in the present environment. We are very convinced of the fact that probably true and fair view concept cannot remain relevant for a very long time. If all these practices keep on being there, probably the auditing reporting pattern needs to undergo a change. And IFAC will have to do a lot of work so far as this particular part is concerned. And Indian Institute of Chartered Accountants is going to play a very active role so far as this direction is concerned. With regard to the commitment of the Honorable Prime Minister in the G20, so far as the implementation of the IFRS is concerned, we as an institute have done our job. We have handed over all the standards duly converged with IFRS, of course subject to certain carve-outs where we felt that the interest of the Indian industry will be severely hit. We have handed it over to NACAS, and NACAS in the periods to come will definitely like to notify. There are certain tax issues. The tax issues also have been worked out. We are in discussion with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs as well as with the Ministry of Finance, and probably in the days to come, certain things will definitely be sorted out. But I can say that as an Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, we have tried to see that the commitment of the Honorable Prime Minister of the country does not fail under any circumstances. Sir, during the year, as a proactive measure, we have offered comments on the direct tax code. We have definitely offered comments on the FDI in retail sector. We have also offered comments on as to what could be prevention of the corruption, when the document which the CVC actually brought out. And I think all those comments have been duly appreciated by the respective authorities. We do believe, sir, that there is a need to tone up the disciplinary mechanism, particularly with regard to the delays. I am not saying that we have not been disciplining the members. Let me say with pride, as I said in the morning also, we are the only institute probably in the world, I am using the word probably in the world, which has the courage of conviction of putting it on the website of the institute, the names of the people whom we have punished in the last 3 years. There is no institute which can really characterize this. In this very year, sir, we have been able to really conclude about 114 cases, and now the stay order against the two of the members with regard to the proceedings in the Satyam case has also been vacated by Delhi High Court, and I am sure that in the next 2 months we shall be able to conclude that also. We sincerely believe that if the profession has to go forward and if it has to retain its credibility, the most important part is that the government, the regulators, the society must have faith in the disciplinary mechanism of the institute, and I am sure that under the dynamic leadership of Mr. G. Ramaswamy in the next year, we will definitely be able to carry it further, and I am sure that we will not fail the society under any circumstances. And friends, I would also like to end up on a note that we are a profession which is now into the 62nd year, and in the 62nd year, I think we all have to take a vow that we shall stand by the quality and the ethics. We have always believed as an institute that any profession stands on 2 legs, ethics and competence. If one leg gets fractured, you start actually limping, and if both the legs get fractured, probably you crawl. We are not a profession who are going to crawl or going to limp. We are going to run, and we are going to demonstrate it to the world at large, friends. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. To introduce the Honorable Union Minister of State for Agriculture, may I now call upon Chairman of the Ernakulam branch, Sri C.A. Vivek Krishna Govind. A very brief introduction, please, since the FM is running a little bit late.
Honorable Union Minister of Finance, Sri Pranab Kumar Mukherjee, Honorable Union Minister of State for Agriculture, Sri K.V. Thomas, eminent dignitaries on and off the dais, ladies and gentlemen. Let me begin by extending a warm welcome to all of you to God's own country for the 42nd Regional Conference of SIRC of ICAI. It is a matter of immense pride and honor for the members of the Ernakulam branch to be blessed with the privilege of hosting this prestigious conference and to have in our midst our most respected Union Finance Minister, Sri Pranab Kumar Mukherjee, and our own family member, Union Minister of State, Professor K.V. Thomas. Moving on to my official duty of introducing and welcoming our very own Union Minister of State for Agriculture, Professor Kurupasheri Varki Thomas, or Thomas Marsh as he is popularly addressed. Born in Ernakulam to Mr. D. Varki and Mrs. Rosa Varki, Professor K.V. Thomas completed his post-graduation in chemistry from the Sacred Heart College, Cochin, and went on to become the head of the Department of Chemistry with his alma mater. He was all along an active politician, and his political career spans over a period of more than 2 decades when he served in various capacities as Member of Parliament, Member of the Kerala Legislative Assembly, and has served as a minister at the central and state level. His contributions to the state of Kerala cannot be overemphasized. He has played an active and effective role in improving the infrastructure of the state, including the construction of this stadium in which we are seated today, the Nedimbasheri Airport, the Vallarpadam Container Terminal, and the Goshri Bridge, to name a few. He also has an inclination towards the literary front and is the author of several books and the recipient of the award for Best Tourism Minister instituted by Patwa in 2003 and also recognized as Ambassador for Peace by the Universal Peace Foundation in 2005. With these words, let me present before you our good friend, Professor K.V. Thomas.
Thank you, Vivek. I now invite our guest of honor, Professor K.V. Thomas, Honorable Union Minister of State for Agriculture.